So we've been talking about your neck getting sore and bad posture and the forward head position, achy traps, shoulder blades. I'm going to show you simple movements that will help stabilize the little tiny intrinsic muscles of the neck, okay? Let me talk about neck first. We've seen a lot of, the gym exercises where they do the machine and this and that. First of all, I'm going to teach you how to do some isometrics. So we know we've done a neck stretch, gentle, neck stretch, gentle. If anybody's neck is stiff and achy, I suggest adding in some isometrics. Isometrics means your body part is not moving. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold your head and you're going to push into your hand. Probably at like maybe 50% of your 60%. You're not really trying to push your hand. But you're holding your head and you're pushing for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Push again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to do this side, same thing. This side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to hold the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to hold back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do 4 each side. That strengthens the neck without having to do any movement. Again, when you're doing it, you have to have good posture, chest high. The next movement that I suggest, it's called a chin tuck, okay? You're laying on your back. Now, do this on a firm surface, not in a bed. It's called a chin tuck, and what happens is your chin is going down. Again, it's not a workout, so it's not a forceful move. It's slow and gentle to get the little deep neck flexors, all the stabilizers to fire. Again, your chin comes down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, come up. You do that 20 times. It's kind of like you're giving yourself a double chin, but don't move the chin. I've had people do this. I'm like, it's not a jaw move, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what you do, get yourself a little rolled towel. You're going to turn over and you're going to go face down. You're using this towel so that you can breathe. Again, your head is straight down and you're pushing your head into the table for a count of 5. For example, hands by your side, push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do that 20 times as well. So you've done your isometrics, you've done your chin tuck, and you've done deep neck flexors. You're pushing straight down. There's another movement that I'm going to show you. You're going to be face down with your palms down, and you're going to lift. That is going to help work like the lower traps, mid back, all those stabilizing muscles that help us do this. Okay, check it out. Again, towel here, face down, palms down. Face down, palms down. And you lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What you need to remember is you have to start with your shoulders depressed down. So if they're here, it's going to go into your neck. So you're here, depress a little bit, and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't let the arms just drop. Control them up, control them down. If you start doing those moves for your neck, it's going to start strengthening the little things that help support the spine. And eventually, you will train yourself to have a little bit better posture, okay? That, I suggest you can do that every single day for your neck. I always like the 5-second holds. Isometrics, just do it 4. Chin tucks, 10 to 20. If you feel any sharp pain or any zingy pain, stop. If you start to ache, go down to 10. If you really are weak and you don't exercise at all, just do it every other day, okay? Those are the exercises for some neck and upper back achiness. Now, for low back, lumbar achiness, these are some nice, simple rehab exercises. You should, if you're having like sharp sciatic pain, you just have to modify it and see how you're feeling. Again, firm surface. You don't need a towel. What you're going to do is you're going to be on your back, okay? Knees bent. You're here. People talk about doing a pelvic tilt, but the idea when you do this sort of a movement is you want the lower abdominal region to be tight. Now, don't suck it in to where your hips move. Just be aware that this is tight. And it's called marching, and it seems really simple. And when you do this movement, I want you to initiate the movement from the abdominal region, because you go to a 90-degree here. If I don't think about using my abs, I'm going to lift it with my quad, and the quad is going to fire, and that's going to do nothing, right? If this region is tight and you're kind of holding it in, but you're not like all lifted up, tight, you could go here. It's marching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, you do that 10 to 20 times, okay? If you have no back pain, you're trying to get a little stronger in your core, then the next advanced move is you go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. If this causes any sharp pain, stop. Again, abdominal region is doing the movement. The legs are not. So you've got the marching, you got the extension. It's kind of helpful to point your toe up, but it doesn't really matter. This just seems to be a little bit better. The third movement that I want you to do is you flip over on your stomach. And I'll tell you this before I flip over so that you can hear me. You're face down, and you're going to pretend there's a big block of ice, and you're going to suck your abdominal region, core, off of the table where the ice would be. I lied, you do need that little towel. But let's say you're here, okay? Doesn't really matter where your arms are. What you do, you won't really even see it, but my abdominal region is pulled up, and you try to hold it for a count of 10. It's actually a little difficult, so I'm going to get out of breath. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, relax. You don't do this, okay? The movement is real subtle, real small, and that works lumbar stabilizers. So you've done the marching, you've done the leg extension, you've flipped over and done the ice block. So those are 3 basic physical therapy rehab exercises to help with low back pain and get you ready to get back into the exercises that you've not been doing since you've all been sedentary. Now, talking about sciatic pain. Now, sciatic pain, if you've never had it, it's a really painful condition, and it's often really hard to figure out what to do about it, because if you have sciatic pain, often when you're sitting, it makes the leg and buttock just feel like it's on fire. Sometimes people have it when they're standing. But let's say you have sciatic pain and your whole leg is weird and achy, or it's kind of somewhere in the buttock. The sciatic nerve goes right through the center of the butt, right where the muscle that's called the piriformis is. Some people often say, oh, it's my piriformis. But if you have a pain that is constant and doesn't go away when you are sedentary, it's usually not a muscle, it's usually a nerve. If a muscle is injured, when you stop using it, it's probably not going to hurt. It might ache, but if you're sitting there and your buttock or hip or leg is like throbbing, that's much more of a nerve. Same thing if you have anything weird in the arm and it's just aching and burning, that's much more of a nerve compression than a muscular thing, okay? Let's say I have right leg sciatic pain, burning, achy. Just go with it. Especially if you're in a lot of pain, you're like, I can't get this thing to go away. This is a trick that you can do. You find a sofa or a bed that you can get on the side. You put the painful side up. You get kind of close to the edge, and you find a position to where you're rotated like this, to where you feel a tension right in the spine, not where your leg is hurting, in the spine, because that's where the compression is. Some people, it may be really twisted. Some people, it might just be here. Both knees are kind of coming off, and it's a twist. The trick that's going to help you is you must turn your upper body and look at the ceiling and stay here 2-3 minutes. What is happening? There's a very long, called the posterior longitudinal ligament, blah, blah, blah. It's a long ligament that goes along the spine, and the torque of my body like this, with my head turned, helps push into the lumbar spine, helps push the disc, theoretically, back into place, take some pressure off the nerve. So if you are a person who's like, oh my gosh, my leg and buttock are aching, find this position, find where you feel a stretch in the low back, and you just relax. You don't push. People want to just help themselves, like push, push. It's more about gravity and more about the spine and the low back. So that is a trick if you're having bad sciatic on what to do, okay? So those are some tips for your neck and your back. They're basic little tiny muscles, and if you start doing it, it might even just help you with your core. And if you are a person who sits at a desk a lot, you have a sedentary job, you may not even be that athletic or do athletic events, these will help you protect you from having a lot of neck and back pain in the future.